Hello everyone and welcome back to Turn the Page. This is the channel that brings you biblical truth through both fact and fiction. And today's episode is going to be dedicated to fiction. I'm starting a new series. I'm calling it Fiction Fridays. So today we're going to be taking a look at one of my works in progress, the Ashwood Chronicles. And we're going to look at Olivia Ashwood and see what's going on with her, how her story starts. And once we're done with that, I'm going to come back on here and kind of give you some more information about Fiction Fridays and what you can expect going forward. So for now, let's go ahead and get into the story. Olivia's eyes, like pools of warm amber, stared unfocused as the attorney droned on concerning her parents' estate. Until today, she was unaware that such an estate existed. The shock of her parents' death came unexpectedly, which added to the struggle of coming to terms with her loss. Once you turn 18, you will inherit your family's estate as well as gain access to your trust fund. Your parents wanted to make sure that you were well taken care of in the event of their untimely deaths. The lawyer took a breath and noticed the blank expression on Olivia's face. Miss Ashwood? Miss Ashwood. Olivia, are you all right? Concern had crept into his voice as he laid a gentle hand on Olivia's arm. The weight of the lawyer's hand had brought Olivia out of her trance, and the musty smell of the old office space returned her to the present moment. Sliding her chair back, Olivia crossed the room to the large window overlooking the parking lot below. I'm sorry, Mr. Sinclair. This is just so much to take in. Has there been a mistake? My family wasn't wealthy. We've lived here as long as I can remember. Olivia picked at her nails while looking out the window. The rivulets of water running down the glass made her feel slightly disoriented as it warped the vehicles below into strange shapes. There's no mistake. It's all right here. Mr. Sinclair looked over the rim of his glasses and motioned for Olivia to join him at his desk. As you can see, the deed to Ashwood Manor has both your mother's and your father's signature, giving you ownership once you sign below. The paperwork for the trust fund is notarized and signed as well. Everything is in order. A low rumble of thunder seemed to give Mr. Sinclair's words a sense of finality. Reluctantly, Olivia picked up the pen and signed her name below those of her parents. No sooner than she had finished, thunder shook the room, and everything went black. Olivia felt her heart stop when she saw a figure standing behind the lawyer during the flash of lightning that followed. As suddenly as the lights went out, they came back on with a buzz of electricity. Olivia stood wide-eyed in the same spot she had been in before the power outage. She quickly scanned the room, taking in the bookshelves, the desk, the framed degrees on the wall, and finally Mr. Sinclair himself. He looked as puzzled as she felt. They were alone in the room. Are you all right, Miss Ashwood? I assure you everything is fine. This happens frequently when it storms. The building is quite old, and the wiring isn't as solid as it used to be. I'm good, Olivia deflected, just a little startled. Olivia was already backing toward the door of the office. Listen, if that takes care of everything, I'm going to head out. I have a lot to process and could use some rest before finals tomorrow. She had just buried her parents a little over a week ago. Her high school graduation was right around the corner, which she had no intentions of attending. It wouldn't be the same without her parents. She was physically and emotionally exhausted and still had a lot to deal with. At the moment, though, she wanted nothing more than to get out of this office and away from whatever that thing had been standing behind him. Something wasn't right. Understandable. Mr. Sinclair reached out and handed Olivia the envelope containing her copy of the papers, the deed to the estate, a bag containing 2 keys, and a sealed letter from her parents. You've been through quite an ordeal. I wish you the best going forward, Miss Ashwood. If you need anything at all, don't hesitate to reach out. I knew your parents very well, and I will miss them dearly. I'm so sorry for your loss. Thank you. I'll be sure to do that. Olivia forced a smile as she hurried out of his office. Clear of Mr. Sinclair's office, Olivia crossed the space in the foyer and headed for the door as quickly as she could without running. With a trembling hand, she pulled open the door to exit and instantly regretted it. So there you have it, guys. That is part 1 of chapter 1 of the Ashwood Chronicles. I broke the first chapter up into 2 parts for 2 reasons: to keep the video semi-short and to get you to come back next week to check out part 2, because I do plan to upload the second part of chapter 1 next Friday. So if you liked what you read or heard, then give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notifications bell. That way you don't miss the next part when it releases. As far as the future of Fiction Fridays goes, I do plan on doing some reading of my works in progress, but I want to go beyond that as well. I'll have some episodes that's dedicated to book reviews, book recommendations, and I do plan to interview some Christian fiction authors as well on the channel. So again, if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. That way you don't miss them. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.